Sanbunan Dumlang, hello, it's Simply Spissa here and welcome back to my YouTube channel, but also a special welcome to you if you're joining me here for the first time. If you're not yet subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. So I don't know if you can tell by the title of today's video what's going on, but let me just explain to you quickly. So I'll be taking out these faux locks that I installed. Yes, I installed them myself. Fun fact, I actually recorded a tutorial on how I install them, because if you remember before I had twists, and so when the twists got old, instead of like taking them out, I wrapped like hair over them and got these faux locks, but I was just too lazy to edit it. But if that's something you'd be interested in seeing, let me know in the comments. Like literally if one person says they'd watch it, then I'll edit it just for you. If not, we move. But anyways, yeah, I want to take out these locks, but I thought while doing that, let's have a discussion on the many issues and problems with social media. So I think the first one, I kind of touched on it in a sense that I was lazy to record I don't even know how to take these out, record the tutorial for these locks, because I just felt like who wants to even watch that? I literally didn't want to waste my time filming a video that people won't watch. And hold on, I want to get a mirror because I thought I could use just the camera for my phone, but it's not working. But like, I was like, literally, who wants to watch that? Especially if I consider the type of content I've been making recently, right? I was thinking, okay, the people who've recently subscribed to my channel, I don't think they care to see how I installed my locks. And I actually watched a video talking about this by As Told by Kenya, saying that as a content creator, you sort of have this dichotomy of, do I make the content I want to make, or do I make the content that people wanna see? And I think that ties into the issue of, you know, people always complain about how a lot of the really big influencers or YouTubers, like a lot of the content that that is being promoted to us is pretty much the same. Oh my gosh, look at that. That is nasty. It's pretty much the same. And thing is, right, I'm a viewer and like a content creator, so I do understand how from the side of a viewer it can be frustrating when you look for something to watch and on your recommended page you're just seeing one and the same thing. But you have to understand the way these algorithms work is that they stifle originality, they stifle creativity, because if you want to get exposure, you want your content to be recommended to people, then the way algorithms work, it goes on kind of like similarities, right? So it sees, okay, people who watch this also like to watch this. And now if you just come out of nowhere with your unique content, it's like the algorithm doesn't know where to place you. And I also think, just looking at my own channel, one of the reasons why my channel isn't as big as it could be is because I don't play the social media game. I don't. Even if you just look at my Instagram and Twitter, I'm not that active, specifically on like my personal Twitter. Like I have other Twitter accounts because, again, like I have Stan accounts, right? And the sole purpose of me creating Stan accounts is that I know that on my personal account, people don't care about Selena Gomez like I do. They don't care about K-pop like I do. They don't care about the series I love like I do. So like, you know, let me create an account just for that. And we see that with people's YouTube channels, right? People have different channels for different things, because it's kind of like, if you subscribe to my channel because of, let's say, one of my K-pop videos, you're not gonna want to see me sitting on my bed cutting up my locks and just talking random mess. Like, you get what I mean? And so I'm not going to dwell too much on that point, because I feel like Kenya, just search up As Told by Kenya, the problem with social media. I feel like her video really touches nicely on all the issues surrounding that. But I just wanted to bring it up because it felt really relevant to me, and I have touched on it in previous videos. And so another issue that we have with social media, I think in 2021, we have a good understanding of just the way social media can be bad for our mental health. I've spoken about, like, I think 2019 I did videos about, social media detox and how it's important to really critically think about the content you're consuming, right? Because, like, I found sometimes I'll be following certain accounts or watching some people's channels, and they're just making me feel bad, or just sometimes there isn't even like a there isn't like an intellectual or like objective reason why this person's why I have issues with with someone's content. Sometimes it's just the feeling inside, and I really think that it's really important to listen to our instincts and really just listen to ourselves and not let other people how do I put this? I feel like this point needs some work. We'll move on. Let's move on. Like, actually, this is such a random video. Like, I thought of sitting down and like doing it maybe like a proper structured manner, but I just felt like this is quite a heavy topic, and I kind of want to make it a little bit lighthearted for myself. But like, the real issue, or the biggest issue that I've recently become aware of when it comes to social media, is the issue of misinformation and violence that is being elicited. Now, I highly recommend, if you have a Netflix subscription, you should watch The Social Dilemma, that documentary. It really... hold on. I felt like I'm cramping a bit, so I'm hoping if I sit on these pillows... Oh, that's better. Okay, that's better. It really touches on just all the issues of misinformation, and it'll explain what I'm trying to say a lot better than I'm doing right now. But basically, if we just take, for example, the issue of the vaccine recently, I've seen so many videos, I've been sent so many strange things from either A, celebrities, right, tweeting stuff from their platforms, or B, people who claim to be medical doctors and just saying it's like, the issue is, right, people will say, like, I get it, we're all entitled to our own opinions, but now if you are a celebrity with a big platform, you can't be saying just people have been saying some strange things about the vaccine. I mean, even think when the pandemic started, when the outbreak started, people were, inciting violence towards Asians, because many people were blaming them for the pandemic, which I think is just wrong. Like, labeling it the Chinese virus, that is just wrong. It's really been disappointing to see the amount of people that have been spreading misinformation and hate on their social media platforms. And not only that, but the fact that there's literally, like, they're not being held accountable. And I think the main reason for that is because these social media companies make money from it, right? Like, if this person, like, they don't care what the content is, because as long as it's getting a lot of traction, they're able to put ads in between it, and they're able to monetize that. And recently they have been put under fire by the authorities, and there are many activists who are doing work to do better. Because the thing with social media, right, yes, it has its, I feel like we sometimes do fall into this not that trap, but like, we can sometimes focus a lot on just the negative aspects and how social media is ruining everything, is ruining the fabric of society, ruining how we communicate, and damaging people's mental health. But we also can't deny that, for example, in this pandemic, social media is how we've been able to stay in touch with each other, right? Did I cut my real hair? What is going on here? Oh my gosh, I hope I did not cut my real hair, girl. I don't think I did. Oh, thank goodness. Right, like, social media has brought a lot of good in our lives, but that being said, it's coming with a whole lot of bad. Like, these social media companies are literally being unchecked. And the thing is, I've since realized that you can't say one is any better or worse than the other. If I think about just recent events, right, like I've talked about how, with regards to the pandemic, people have been spreading hate, inciting violence, and spreading misinformation about the vaccine. But even the attack on the US Capitol that happened a couple of weeks ago, that was organized through social media. They were able to mobilize through social media. Like, how does that happen? How are they left unchecked? Think about Donald Trump has been terrorizing us on Twitter for the past, like, what, 4 or 5 years? And literally a lot of the mess, right, the lot of mess that came with the Trump administration from the years was from his Twitter. From his Twitter, he would say the craziest things. It would be so wild to me how he'd just be left unchecked. And it's so funny to me how only now, now that he's, leaving, did they decide, okay, yep, now we're gonna do something. Now we're gonna ban him from our sites. Like, why couldn't y'all do that earlier? Why couldn't you guys do that earlier? Because it's from his Twitter that he was saying that protesters should be shot. It was from his Twitter that he was saying all this anti-immigration, all the transphobic, everything that he stands for. He was promoting it on Twitter. And I know what some people would say, right? Because some people now are saying that no, but you guys are censoring us. You are coming for our freedom of speech. Listen, when you join a social media platform, there are terms and conditions, right? And they say if you do not meet these terms and conditions, you will be removed from our app, right? You will be not, you won't be allowed on the platform. But no one is coming to your house and arresting you and throwing you into prison. Obviously depending on what you say. Like, there are certain things which people say on social media that they should be arrested for. But I just mean, like, you can say all the hate you want in the comfort of your living room. You can stand on your front yard and say all the mess It's kind of like if I invite you into my house and you say or act in a way that I don't agree with, I have the right to say, get out of my house because you've been saying all this mess. I have that right. I feel like social media companies have the same. It's so funny to me how people will get banned or suspended for minor things. Like, there are people who have been banned for just, like, when you find out why they've been banned, it's just like, you banning this person, but you leaving a whole racist, misogynistic, transphobic, Islamophobic, anti-Semite person. It's so wild to me. Like, I read an article about how there was a case of I'm not going to censor myself. I'm not even monetized, so what's the point of censoring myself? But a case of child pornography that Twitter did not remove because they said it doesn't violate their policy. What do you mean? What do you mean? It is literally illegal. And it was so sad to me, like, when you read the case, how literally the child and their mother had to go through all these loops, that to do so much before Twitter finally did something and actually removed the content from their site, and also banned the users who are posting it. Because I've also had instances where I'll see, like, a really offensive post or an account, and I'll report it, then I'll get a report back saying this person doesn't violate our policy. I'm like, what is your policy? What is your policy then? I mean, we can talk about how I've seen how people get banned for dumb things. Like, on TikTok, I've seen a lot of black content creators talking about how their videos are getting removed. And if you look at some of the white TikTokers, it's kind of like we're making the exact same content, but only my content is causing an issue. Or if, for example, you are a black creator and you are calling out these issues of racism, whatever the case might be, you get punished, but the racist person, like the person who originally put out the content, they are left unscathed. And it's kind of too much for me. It's a little too ghetto for me. It's kind of like, I don't know. I just think that we need to be a lot more educated, right, about how these social media companies work, and so we can hold them accountable. I think that's the thing. I think a lot of people are unaware. I think about the WhatsApp recently and their privacy policy, right? They've come under fire for their privacy policy, and many people were up in arms and they were like, why do they want to share our information with Facebook and Instagram? They can't do that. Meanwhile, it's like, do you know the information they collect about you on those other sites? To be honest, with this new policy they want to bring with WhatsApp, it's still not collecting as much information as Facebook and Instagram does. Like, if you don't want them to have information, you actually need to delete all your Facebook accounts, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram. I don't know if Facebook owns anything else, but like, I really think a lot of people are really blissfully unaware of what is actually going on. And that is why I was saying, like, that documentary, The Social Dilemma, really explains. Like, I actually remember one time I was on Instagram and I saw an ad for a camera. Now, probably I got this ad, like, probably the algorithm recognized that I am a content creator, I'm a YouTuber, and so, they're going to show me an ad for a camera. And so I remember clicking on the link and just seeing the specifications and the price. And I was like, ooh, this is a bit too pricey. And then I left. Next thing, I'm getting a call. Like, literally someone called me saying, hi, we saw you interested in our camera, blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh, no, thanks, I'm good. I remember I'm like, where did these people get my number? Clearly, when I clicked on that link, they got access to my Instagram account and Facebook just handed them over my number. And it's that's where you realize that the issues at hand here. I feel like the problem with social media, the problem with social media, there's so many, right? There is just how it affects our interpersonal relationships, how it affects us, when we use social media. I mean, I haven't even gotten started on just like how, the use of filters and Instagram models affects like body image and all of that. And even just these privacy concerns. And there's so much. Like, I think like I was saying, how I don't play the rules of social media. Who is on YouTube just looking like a ghetto mess like this and just yelling random things? I feel like, you see, even I think back to like the content that I have to create, it's always like, and this is me just like circling back to the beginning, but it's like, how do I stay true to myself but still see worth and value in what I'm doing? Because I don't think you guys understand the stress that comes with being a content creator. I don't think you guys understand just what goes on behind the scenes. Like, the comments that we get, it's a lot. It's really a lot. And I don't know, I feel like this isn't as productive as I thought it would be, but I feel like I got some of my main points across with regards to the issues regarding social media. I'm probably gonna do the rest of this, like, gonna finish this up later. So until then, I love you guys so much. Bye.